A boy who wanted to be a Cinderella. Chapter 9. The meeting at the lake. The day had finally arrived. The Queen excitedly knocked on Erwin's door, instructing the servants to prepare his bath and dress him in fresh clothes. But Erwin sighed, sinking deeper into his bed. "Please, Your Highness, I am tired. I have no interest in going to town to meet the supporters." The Queen sat beside him, her voice gentle but firm. "Please, my son, just do this for me. Just this once. That's all I ask. You know your father has been worried that the kingdom will fall apart because the younger generation sees him as old-fashioned. But you, Erwin, have given them something to believe in. Please, do this. Not just for us, but for all the people you've inspired. A future where they can stand up for themselves, find their own prince or princess, and love without fear." Erwin paused, deep in thought. Then, with a slow nod, he agreed. "All right, just this once." He hesitated before adding, "And can we stop at the lake on the way back? I'd like to spend some time alone there." The Queen nodded, her excitement barely concealed. Meanwhile, at Ivo's house, his sisters were just as eager, bustling around to prepare him. But Ivo, looking frail and withdrawn, sighed. "I'm not sure I can do this." His voice trailed off as he gazed at his reflection, his cheekbones more pronounced from the weight he had lost. His sisters knelt beside him, their hands clasping his gently. "Ivo, do you remember when you were little? How you would cry and storm out of the room because you wanted to find your prince? How you cried yourself to sleep?" One of them wiped a tear from his cheek. "Don't you want something better for the little boys and girls who are just like you?" They had told Ivo about the movement growing in the kingdom, the way his story had ignited a revolution. Though his heart still ached, for the first time in weeks, a small flicker of hope sparked within him, not for himself, but for the countless others who had once suffered in silence, just like him. Ivo lightly knocked his own forehead, whispering through his tears, for all the boys and girls who want true love. He wiped his face and exhaled deeply. Both Erwin and Ivo climbed into their carriages, unaware of what awaited them. As they leaned against the velvet seats, gazing out the windows, their thoughts drifted to the past, to stolen moments by the lake, laughter under the summer sun, whispered confessions. Though they had not spoken in weeks, their hearts had never truly separated. But after some time, Erwin noticed something odd. The carriage stopped sooner than expected. Peering out the window, he frowned. "This isn't the town," he muttered. Then, turning to the driver, he asked, "I meant later, not now." At the same moment in his own carriage, Ivo turned to his mother in confusion. "Mother, this isn't the town hall." Just then, Erwin heard another carriage approaching. His heart pounded. Somehow he knew. Without thinking, he jumped out of the carriage, standing tall as dust from the road swirled around him. His face, once filled with sorrow, now held something else, hope. His eyes widened as the carriage drew closer. "Ivo!" His voice trembled. "Is that you? Are you inside?" Inside, Ivo's heart leaped. That voice. He turned to his mother, his breath hitching. "Mother? Is that?" Tears welled in her eyes as she nodded. "Yes, my son. It's him." Overcome with emotion, Ivo reached for her hands, gripping them tightly. "What have I done to deserve a mother like you?" His mother cupped his face, her fingers brushing gently over his sunken cheeks. "And what have I done to deserve a son like you?" Their foreheads touched, a quiet moment of gratitude passing between them. Ivo, his voice barely above a whisper, asked, "How do I look, Mother?" She pulled back, studying him with love in her eyes. Then, with a smile, she said, "You look like a little prince." Ivo took a deep breath, then leapt from the carriage. For the first time in weeks, Erwin saw him. For the first time in weeks, Ivo saw Erwin. They stood frozen, tears streaming down their faces. A whirlwind of emotions swirled between them, relief, longing, the ache of time lost, and the unspoken torment they had both endured. Behind Erwin, the Queen placed a hand on his shoulder, lifting her voice so both of them could hear. "You both have the kingdom's blessing." Erwin turned sharply, his breath catching. Did she really mean it? He hugged the Queen tightly, unable to hold back his tears. "Mother!" She smiled, nodding. "Go on, my son." Holding back her own tears, she watched as Erwin turned, his heart pounding, and then Ivo and Erwin ran toward each other, but just inches apart they stopped, hesitating. Erwin's voice trembled. "I am so... Ivo cut him off. No. It was me. I ruined your big day. I called you a liar. Erwin shook his head. "No, you didn't ruin anything. You saved me, my life, my future, and so many others who dream of love just like us. You have no idea. When I met you, I knew you were the one." Ivo's breath hitched. Is that true? Erwin nodded. Yes, they say our love has changed the kingdom. People from other lands are asking to move here because of you, Ivo. Because of your truth. For the first time, Ivo and Erwin could truly be themselves. As they stood together, their mothers walked off, sharing a private conversation of their own. Erwin smiled, wiping his tears. There's something I've wanted to say to you since we met, but I never got the chance, Ivo chuckled. Oh, and what's that? Come, Erwin said, tilting his head toward the lake. Let me show you around. Ivo laughed, shaking his head. How foolish I was to think no one would ever come to this part of the garden. Erwin smiled and added, Without you sneaking in, I never would have known there were places beyond the guard's watch. That's why I was able to invite you to dinner. My father never lets me leave the castle otherwise. Suddenly, Erwin stopped. Turning to Ivo, his expression became serious. I'm sorry, he said softly. I was so presumptuous. I never even asked how you felt about me. I just assumed. Ivo nodded, a teasing glint in his eye. Yes, me too. They both laughed, and in that unspoken moment, their hearts intertwined, bound together in a love they no longer had to hide.